Alright, what I'm going to be using today is 65 large eggs, 60 milliliters of garlic oil, 3 kilograms of soy flour, 3 kilograms of cornmeal, 3 kilograms of semolina, 200 grams of chili powder, 800 grams of trout pellet once I've grinded it up in a blender. I'm going to be using 50 grams of kelp. These are pills. They have essential vitamins and minerals from what I understand. I've used these in all my base mixes. I've had pretty good success. I'm also using 60 grams of calcium. Now, from what I've read, these are essential to the digestive system, so that way the carp can actually absorb nutrients. I'm going to be using mainline yellow dye. From what I understand, this is great stuff. This will be a first for me. I'm also going to be using dynamite, sardine and anchovy. This has green-lipped mussel. Everything I've read about this is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in about 100 milliliters in my base mix, and then I'm also going to add in about 30 or 40 milliliters for every 2 kilogram bag. I put it in the bag, and then put my freezer baits in the bag, let them soak up that liquid, and then I'll freeze them. Additionally, I'm using an industrial paint mixer. This is so you don't have to knead it together by hand. And it's just in a DeWalt drill. And then one trusty bucket, and you're off to the rodeo. Alright, so now that we've got everything together, this is the basic part. I'm just going to take all the dry ingredients and put them in this bucket. Alright, so here's a bucket of dry mix. I've got all my dry ingredients in there. Now here's a little trick that I came up with. To prevent the dust from kicking up, what you do is you take a bag that fits right over the bucket, put a hole in the top of it, and then this way you can operate the mixer without dust getting all over the place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix this dry mix up real quick, then we'll get our wet ingredients and we'll get to work. Alright, now comes the easy part. Wet ingredients. Now, contrary to what a lot of people do, I throw the whole thing in, egg and all. This is pretty straightforward. And working with my mixes, it seems as though the eggshell gives it some crunch factor, and with the fish feeding up on the boilies and constantly breaking those boilies down, those teeth are hitting each other in the back there, and the other fish can hear it. So I'm all eggshell in. We'll get the rest of these eggs in. Alright, so now it's time for our attractant. This bottle is a 250 milliliter bottle. I'm not going to go rocket science on this. If you think about half a bottle is 125. I'm going to leave just over a half a bottle in there. Alright, let's get this wet mix in. Alright, so you might be wondering how you're going to get a 10-pound chunk of paste into sausages in a reasonable amount of time. So here's a little trick I do. I don't use a sausage gun. A lot of the guns are small. I'm not going to waste my time unless I got a gun that's going to hold 5 kilograms. Because then you're just constantly cleaning out the gun, putting in 1 kilogram sausages. I find it personally quicker just to get a sharp knife, cut it in roughly 1.5 inch segments. Okay, once you get the segments cut, you take a segment, flatten it out just a little bit, and then you do the exact same thing the opposite way. Okay, clearly we've got 4 sausages there. If you just quickly give it a roll just to round out the edges. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Right? Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be fancy. All right, so once you're done making all your sausages, you just got to get them to the table. Just gonna throw one in the top, lift it back, press it down. A couple glasses. Grab another one. You see, they just fall straight down into the tray. It's pretty quick, pretty easy. All right, the final step is going to be to take these freezer bags. I'm going to put in roughly 20 milliliters of this attractant here, Sardine Anchovy. It's got green lipped mussel in it, and I'll show you how I do this. I'm just going to open this bag. Pretty straightforward. Open this. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip this up. You can see it's in there. And I'm just going to press it out. Alright, so I've got exactly 4 pounds in this bag. Just going to close this bag. You can see the attractant all in the bag. Once I know it's good and zipped, just going to mix it around. Get that attractant on all those boilies. I'll draw out the air. We'll have a bag of boilies ready for the freezer. Alright, after some hard work, everything is done. I've got 4 bags at 4 pounds a piece. These are all 20 millimeter boilies. This is the Sardine and Anchovy with lip mussel. These are the same boilies, but I didn't put the attractant in the bag. I've got some leftover boilies kicking around. These are spicy tuna, so another 4 pounds, and then 2 bags at 4 pounds of vanilla. These 7 bags here is the 28 pounds I just rolled out. Between this and what I got here, I'm sitting on 40 pounds of boilies. Hopefully I can produce some fish in this rainy session I got planned.